Hey guys, Travis at One Up Adventures and Fly Products USA. Today we want to show you how to remove the motor off a Fly Products Vertigo Trike and put a different motor on it. A lot of people don't realize that the Vertigo Trike, much like the Flash Cruiser, is set up so that you can easily swap the motor if you need to. Why would you need to swap a motor? Well, maybe you've got a lighter pilot who's on a Moster 185 or an Atom 80, and then you want to move to training a heavier pilot who needs something like the Thor 250. So right now on our Vertigo Trike, we actually have the Moster 185 mounted to what's called a mini frame. That mini frame it mocks a standard rider frame, but it doesn't have everything that goes with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to remove that, and then we're going to take a Thor 250, which we have over here to the right, and that Thor 250 is on a standard rider frame. We're going to mount this onto the Vertigo Trike along with the cage that goes with the frame to show you that option. And then we're going to remove the cage on the rider frame with the Thor 250 and then mount it up, and we're going to keep the Vertigo frame. Now, if you do buy a Vertigo Trike, you can buy it with an engine. You can buy just a trike without the cage and frame, and you can use the cage and frame that is already on your rider. Or you can buy a Vertigo without an engine and with the cage and spars, the heavy duty spars that the Vertigo comes with, and then you can take a rider and you can mount the rider without its cage and spars. So it's very versatile. You've got some different options in order to meet different needs, and we're going to show you guys how to do that today. All right, first thing we're going to do with the Vertigo Trike is we're going to remove this back cage. We do use the back cage for training because it does prevent mishaps. It prevents the glider from, if it overshoots and collapses and comes down towards the prop, it keeps the glider from going into the prop of the trike. So this is an option. If somebody buys a Vertigo Trike, you can get this option where it has a back cage as well. The back cage removes really easily. It's got a small handful of Velcros, and we're going to go ahead and get started on that right now. There we go. Okay, so the Vertigo Trike does come with these quick disconnects for both the fuel line and the breather line. So it makes it really easy just to pop those off, push the button. If you don't have those on your fuel tank, that's easy too. You've just got some bandit clamps down here with a pair of pliers. You open them up, move them up the fuel line and the vent line, and then you can pull the fuel and vent line off the tank. All right, next thing we're going to do is remove the pull start cord, which is just uses a carabiner to attach to this eye-ring on the frame of the trike here. So we're going to loosen that up. And we'll just tighten that back up so that we don't lose it. Then we've got the pull start retention bungee cord that goes to the harness. So we're going to pop that off. And that's it. The engine is now ready to remove. Okay, lastly we need to loosen up this retainer that holds the top of the mini frame down into the U-shaped hangers here. So super easy, 5mm Allen. I see the bottom is turning, so I'm going to hold that tight. And we don't need to take this all the way off, just enough to move it out of the way. And now the entire motor is ready to remove from the trike on the mini frame. So just going to come in here and we're going to lift. And there's our Moster 185 on the Fly Products mini frame. Okay, so we're going to show you the first way to do it. This is if you had purchased the Vertigo Trike without the Vertigo cage. So we're going to be using the cage and the spars that are already on the Fly Products rider with the Plini Thor 250. So in order to do that, we do have to remove the cage off the Vertigo Trike. If you guys have seen our Zenith video, the Vertigo cage is the exact same. And you've got 6 Velcros that we're going to be removing that hold everything together. And when we do that, I like to put the Velcros back together just so that they can't stick to each other. We do need to disconnect the tensioners down bottom. So on the right side on the wheel, we're going to disconnect that. And then we've got a net tensioner here. We're going to disconnect that from the bungee that goes down to the axle. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we've undone all 6 Velcros, and we're just going to go ahead and pop this apart up top here. pop it apart on the side. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove the spars in the remainder of the cage. So we're going to pop this out here, fold this up, and then we've got another pin here. Pull that out, put the pin back through so we don't lose it. And we have 2 more pins for the left side here. All right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the pins on the right side that hold the remainder of the right main cage, and then just slide that out. Okay, I'm going to use Allie's help on this part here because the Thor 250 is a heavier machine. And we're going to lift this up. We've got the Thor 250 hung on the frame, but we do need to install these blocks down bottom to keep it securely in place. Once you have your blocks installed, you're just going to go ahead and tighten up the nut on the back side. And again, these blocks are on each side of the frame. They just hold it securely left and right in place. Okay, those are secured, and the last thing we want to do is this small piece up top that you saw us undo earlier. We're going to make sure that that is tightened down. I guess so. We've got the Thor 250 mounted on the Zenith Trike using the rider's own cage. This is perfectly safe to fly it like this. I will point one thing out that in this case, the A-assist that's on here, it is the top spar that forms the cross brace in order to hold this A-assist in place. So if you are going to use this cage, you won't be able to use the A-assist because we can't, if you buy a Vertigo without the cage, it won't have that spar that goes to the A-assist. So you are going to be flying it without A-assist. We're going to show you guys now what we would prefer, which if you were to buy a Vertigo Trike along with its cage, we can mount the Thor 250, use the cage that's part of the Vertigo Trike and the A-assist that's part of the Vertigo Trike. But in order to do that, we're going to remove the cage off the Thor 250. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the spar pieces back in. This is the Vertigo spar pieces, and you've got these locking pins again that hold them into place. Here's the cross connect for the A-assist here. And one more pin down here, and we'll be all set. Okay, so we've got the main 3 cage sections in, and now we just need to hang the rest of the cage. So if you guys are going to use your existing rider paramotor, that could be a Moster 185, Atom 80, Thor 250, Thor 202, Thor 303. This is the way we would recommend it. You're going to have a much sturdier frame. You've got the crossbar connecting to the A-assist. And of course, all we have to do now is the 6 Velcros that hold the cage pieces together, and then the 4 tensioner straps down on the side. All right guys, so we finished up. We got the Velcros attached. We've got the bungee tensioners for the sides of the cage going to the ends of the wheels, and also for the netting going to the axles. So this is complete, ready to fly with the Thor 250 on the rider frame attached to the Vertigo Trike. So we thought it was important to show you guys this, that within a few minutes we were able to show you a couple different options. We were able to take the Moster 185, which we have mounted on a mini frame, a mini Fly Products frame, because we don't need that engine for foot launch, and mount our Thor 250 on the rider frame with its own cage, and then remove its own cage and put the full Vertigo cage on, and have the Thor 250 on the rider frame mounted this way as well. So you've got a lot of versatility. As far as that Vertigo Trike goes, it makes it very easy to mount, change, do whatever you need to do. The Vertigo is an amazing trike for solo work, for training work. It's a very low center of gravity, wide wheelbase, shocks, brakes, heavily built axles. So it's both good for the training environment, especially with the back cage that we showed you earlier, but also for somebody who's interested in solo flying only. You can mount any of these engines on here and you've got a really, really nice, well-built trike. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, please call us, info@oneupadventures.com or 833-232-5483. Thanks.